Hi, so this question is index pairs of a string. So you're given a string text and an array of a string words. So you are going to just find out if there is a word in the text. And if you do, then you just find out the index from the beginning to the end. So for the story, this is going to be the story, right? So 3-7. So you could have a duplicate value, probably story right over here or story right over here, right? So you just have to list, or even like this, like ABA, right? And then ABA is like this, so it's going to be what, 0 to 2. And how about this ABA? So it's going to be what, 2 to 4, right? So you can reuse the index. So how do you actually do this? It's pretty straightforward. So if you use if you just know the hash set, so I'm going to convert this to the set, and I'm going to use a two pointer to traverse. But in this one, I'm going to use the brute force because I have really no idea what is the value after the current index, right? So I'm going to traverse J all the way from the beginning all the way to the end. If you cannot find anything, I move my I pointer right by 1, right? So I'm going to just erase. So I'm going to say, okay, I is starting right here, and J was starting at the same position, and then keep going right for the J. And then if you cannot find it, then you move your I by 1 again. So just keep doing this until you find everything, right? Until I reach at the end, right? So let's just start coding. So you want to return it into the array, and yeah. So what I will do is I'm going to push into the list, and then since I don't know the size of the answer, so I'm going to just use a list of an array. Then once I finish, I'm going to convert what, the answer equal to new int, and so it's going to be size, and then basically this is how we convert, right? So I'm going to just say result.to array, and I'm going to put into the array, which is answer. So I'm going to convert the result to array for the value, then I'm going to assign it. So just look at the document if you cannot find, if you don't understand, right? So first thing is going to be convert the string array to the set string, right? So I'm going to say set, and then using the string. So okay, sorry, I'm going to say arrays.string followers dot collect, and then collectors.toSet. So this is how we convert, right? You from string array to the set, so it's going to be like one line. So you can use the for loop, doesn't matter, right? So now I use a brute force in I equal to 0, I less than text.length, and then I plus, right? I plus. And then exactly going to be the same thing for J, but it's not going to start from 0, it's going to be start from I, and J less than text.length, and then J plus. So now I need to keep finding, right? So I'm going to just say what is the current substring between I and J index, right? So it's going to be substring equal to what? Text.substring I comma J. And then now I need to say if the set that contains the substring, right? I need to what? Add the answer, right? So it's gonna be result dot add new int. I'm gonna say I comma J, right? So there's actually a trick I left behind. So when you say substring, right, you need to include the J index, right? So it's gonna be about J plus 1 right over here, right? So because substring, you definitely exclude the last index, right? So if you say I comma J, then you are not including the J index, J char, right? So you want to include the J char, then you want to say J plus 1 because you are not including the J plus 1 character. And then this is pretty much a solution. So let me run it. Oh, typo. And yep, here we go. So submit. Alright, so let's talk about time and space. This is going to be what? The space, this is going to be a space. And then for the set, it's going to be all of W. W represent length of the words. And this one is going to be represent the text, right? So I'm going to say if you keep finding, so if the set, if the text is actually a and then the words is like this, then you will actually add every single a into the text. So I'm going to say all of n represent the text of an array. I mean the length of the text, the length of the text for the space, right? And then for the time, this is going to be a time. So the time is going to be what? All of n times all of n, which is n squared. And then inside the n squared, you will just substring. So if you use a substring, what you will do is what? You are taking the index, right? You're taking the 2 index and then get a current string. So if you look at the documentation, then this is actually what? All of n, be honest. So for the worst case, it's going to be all of n squared, n cubed. But most people, I mean, probably I didn't actually remember like what is the algorithm behind the substring, but I'm going to say all of n cubed. And if you're not looking this, then it's going to be what? All of n squared, right? And then contains all of 1 as all of 1, and this is a space are the same, right? All of n. So this is a solution. So I'm going to use the debug mode, and then you will definitely look at it. So I'm going to just pause right over here and then start the debug mode and then starting. So I'm not going to explain when I debugging, and then you just look at this. Okay, so look at the left window. Alright, so it takes a while, man. Alright, so now you know that I increment and J will continue. So I'm not going to stop right over here. I'm going to stop when you add. So story, fleet, LeetCode, and story, something like this, and then you finish, right? So you'll convert it at the end. Alright, so if you have any question, leave a comment below, subscribe if you want it, and I will see you later. Bye bye.